The Cottonwood County Citizen proudly presents Athlete of the Week. Hy-Vee in Windham is your employee-owned grocery store, featuring the freshest produce and a full-service meat department. Visit our deli with hot, ready-to-eat entrees and daily lunch counter specials. Great selection, outstanding service, Hy-Vee of Windham, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle.
I'm joined right now by Wyndham Jr. Abe McKibbin, our Athlete of the Week this week. Congratulations, Abe.
Thank you.
Let's go back to Friday's game over in Fulda. And, Heron Lake Okabena Fulda is a team that really can pose a lot of matchup problems with their height and their quickness. What was the game plan going in to try and neutralize that height as best you can?
Just box out, attack the rim, make them foul you, make them stop you. If not, if they help, then just dump it up to our big Dylan and let him finish.
And defensively was really the key for you guys on Friday night, because you just, as a team, didn't let them into the lane really. I think they only had 4 or 5 2-point baskets the entire game. What was working on the defensive end?
Just go out there and stop their shot. Really, if they're good shooters, you want to let them drive and just stop them.
They were hitting the three-pointers, though. When a team is that hot from three-point range, how hard is it to match them shot for shot?
When they start hitting shots, you don't want to go there and hit a quick one, because if you miss it, then you let them keep their momentum going. So I think once they hit a shot, you go down and you pass the ball. You just let them play defense, because a team that's hot doesn't want to play defense that long.
Mm-hmm.
It stops their momentum. So
a real key for you guys on Friday night was just ball control. Only 2 turnovers as a team. How did that happen? What were you guys doing on offense just to control possessions?
Just play smart, really. We have Henry, who's a great point guard and just knows how to give us the ball, and he creates a lot for us. And once he creates a lot of shots for us, then there's really no need to throw some turnovers.
This season, your role has kind of evolved a little bit, because a year ago you had Connor Redmond, who was not really a tall guy, but he was a versatile player in the post, and that's kind of the role that you've kind of taken over this year. How has that transition been for you this season?
Well, I kind of figured that was going to be my role this year. So last year when I had Mark, I'd really tried studying his game, watching film on him. I just try doing everything that he does, because he's a really good player and he taught me a lot. So it just helps coach my game.
And I know that during the off season and getting ready for football season, you bulked up a little bit. You put on some muscle. That's probably been the biggest help as you move from more of a perimeter player to kind of a swing role.
Yeah, I definitely did bulk up from last year to this year. I was looking at some pictures and I did look a little bit more bulked up. Well, I kind of had to. I wanted to get in shape for football, because we're obviously not the biggest, so I wanted to get stronger. And now that we're losing Mark, or Connor Redmond, who's really strong, I had to put some weight on there and just go out there and try my best against the bigger people.
You came up to varsity as an 8th grader. How, and yes, you had a teammate with you that made the transition at the same time, but coming up as an 8th grader, the expectations are a little different for a young player moving up. Now that you're a junior, looking back at what it was like to come up to varsity, how has your game changed since then?
I definitely have to just create new moves, really, because once you start playing at a young age, they know what you're doing, and they just have film on you that you just gotta make some new things.
Mm-hmm.
And in the off season, you just gotta work on the things that aren't the greatest for you.
At least in the last week, and really most of the season, offensively for you guys, it's kind of been a little bit of a 3-headed monster between you, Henry, and Dylan. Last week, you had 3 straight 20-point games, and I know Henry had a couple of 20-pointers in there. Dylan, I know, went for 28 against Adrian, and I think he was up around 20 against HLOF as well. But the teams that you play also know that, your offense is kind of centered around you three. How difficult is it to try and get your teammates incorporated into the offense? And at what point do you make a conscious decision? It's like, I got to be the one to carry us tonight.
Well, it's definitely fun having 3 varsity starters coming back, and we're all now we can all score, so it probably makes the other teams think twice about who they want to match up. If they want to put their best defender on Henry or they want to put the best defender on me. So it is, to some point, it is difficult, but once you beat that defender, they're gonna emphasize on double teaming you. So once they double team you, you're always gonna find somebody open who can hit a shot.
Mm-hmm. But the season has been a little bit of a roller coaster for you guys. And as the playoffs are starting to approach, the games are getting to be crunch time, and you don't have many opportunities left to try and bulk that section ranking. Looking ahead here, you've got a big section game on Friday down in Fairmont, and then you host a pretty solid Springfield team. Those are 2 big games that could really pad the resume for the playoffs.
Yeah, as of right now, it looks like we might play Redwood, and we just played them last night, which was a tough game. But at this point, we're close to the postseason, and we just have to be ready for it. I think people will probably expect me to say us winning a game, but as of right now, last year against Pipestone when we ended up losing by 4, I think that was really memorable because it really motivates me to try to become a better player, because I know we could have won that game and our season could have kept going, but it ended up not going how we wanted to. So I think that really motivates me. Currently on my playlist, probably some Katy Perry. Yeah. I think the toughest to play against is probably Jackson, because they're usually always good, or Pipestone. Pipestone's always a tough one to beat. I think my teammates would describe me as a funny person. Definitely, I try to motivate people, and yeah. I work out a lot. I try to hang out with my friends as much as possible. I love hanging out with my parents. It's just really fun. Yeah.
Well, that should be all we need. Congratulations on a big week last week for you guys. Best of luck the rest of the way, and thanks for joining us.
All right, thank you.
Hy-Vee in Wyndham is your employee-owned grocery store, featuring the freshest produce and a full-service meat department. Visit our deli with hot, ready-to-eat entrees and daily lunch counter specials. Great selection, outstanding service, Hy-Vee of Wyndham, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle.